And first things first, if you didn't see it on the timeline, Nintendo announced Fox McCloud from Star Fox will be appearing in the new Super Mario Galaxy movie dropping on April 1st. Minish Cap Mafia is eating good. They've confirmed Nintendo is afraid to make a new Star Fox game, but they aren't afraid to put them in the movie and make some goddamn money. Now, I've seen some people complain saying that they should have saved this for the movie. And my take is, let's wait for my voice cracked. Let's wait for the movie to come out. When the movie comes out and we all see it, if this is one of the only big reveals, then I would agree. But my gut tells me the only reason they showed this is they probably have other stuff that they're hiding. And they need a little nugget to get people excited. That's my theory. We'll see how that plays out. Second, this is exciting news because this could mean potentially more for a Nintendo Cinematic Universe. Now, in the original Mario movie, when they mentioned space, I knew, I just had a feeling. I said, I think we're going to see Star Fox or Samus, because they confirmed, if you didn't see the first Mario movie, they confirmed that the Mushroom Kingdom and the Donkey Kong Kingdom, they're down the street from each other. When they confirmed that in the movie and then they mentioned stuff in space, I said, okay, that means the Kirby Kingdom is down the street. That means the Hyrule Kingdom is down the street. They all live on the same planet, I guess. But that also means there's room for Star Fox and like Samus. That we could get a Smash Bros movie. If it's not a Smash Bros movie, it's some type of Nintendo collaborative movie. But that would be fire if, I don't know, man, Master Hand comes to Earth and everybody got to get together. Fox come down in the plane. Slippy screaming, I don't want to fight, I'm scared. Falcon like, oh, you want to do a barrel? You gonna do a barrel? Fucking Link is on the ground holding it down in the Hyrule Kingdom, fighting the fingers and shit. Hot, 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 hot. That shit gonna make a nigga fucking Minish Cap glow. Yeah, motherfucker. Falcon punch that bitch back into space and shit, bro. We need that. We need that. We need that. So like, I don't know. I get the perspective that maybe they shouldn't have shown this, but I have the theory that there's probably more to see in the movie. And I'm excited. Also, when the reviews come out, don't trust them. Because remember, the first Mario movie, they didn't give it good reviews, but all the fans love that shit, bro. All the fans love that shit, bro. Wait, hold up. Freddie Gibbs is actually voicing Fox McCloud. That's not true. That's not true. I got this article saying Fox McCloud's voice actor for the Super Mario Galaxy movie has been confirmed. Ahead of the release of the movie on April 1st, the voice actor for the newly confirmed Fox McCloud has been revealed. The entrant space pilot will be voiced by Glenn Powell, who is perhaps best known for his work on Top Gun Maverick in 2022. The Freddie Gibbs thing was a meme. It was posted by Discussing Fish. Like, that's a fake account, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all do not read. Has Freddie Gibbs been cast as Fox McCloud in Super Mario Galaxy? This is where it came from. This is why it's important to read, guys. Parody, satire, fake page. They posted it, Discussing Fish. Freddie Gibbs has been cast as Fox McCloud. So the original, the account you're thinking of is Discussing Film, but this came from Discussing Fish. This shit went viral to 1 million views. Read! Oh my God, please read. Niggas be excited to be the first to know something. They hit that share button. Don't even know they spread misinformation, man. Top tier fantasy casting. Yo, shout out to Spaghettification with the sub. Appreciate it. So no, the Freddie Gibbs thing is not real. It's not real. But what is real though is a new rumor regarding Nintendo. I'm calling this whole section of articles the space articles. Nintendo's planning a new Star Fox and a major Zelda remake this year, but no 3D Mario. According to a prominent Nintendo insider, Nate the Hate, who shared a plethora of information on the company's 2026 plans, which matches what the VGC has heard from our own sources. In a new podcast, the Nintendo sleuth claimed a classic Star Fox revival is planned for the release on Switch 2 this summer, hot on the heels of Fox McCloud's confirmed appearance in the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Star Fox is coming back in summer of 2026. We're getting a new Star Fox game in the very near future, he said. I've been told it's a classic style Star Fox game and that the visuals are supposed to be very good. And I've heard it does have online multiplayer. I'm leaning towards I believe this rumor is probably true. Keep in mind it's not confirmed, but this would make sense to release a new Star Fox movie game in the summer because we know he's gonna be in the movie this April. And then if I had to guess, the game would probably release in August. By the time the game releases in the summer, the Super Mario movie, Galaxy movie will probably be on streaming services. So they could use that momentum of it going to streaming services to promote the Star Fox game and vice versa. I can see this rumor being true. Doesn't mean it is, but like the play's there. I see it. The play's there. Because Nintendo fans span across multiple generations, but Star Fox fans don't, unfortunately. And it's because they don't properly support them. Like Mario spans every generation, but Star Fox doesn't. Same thing with Zelda. So they could use the movie to introduce a newer generation of Star Fox, kind of like with the Sonic movies, and then put out a game afterwards. And then the kids, when they're at GameStop, Best Buy, Costco, Walmart, wherever you go, we don't shop at Target. You know, little Timmy's gonna be like, "Oh, that's the new Star Fox game. Mommy, remember in the movie? I gotta go get it." Not gonna lie, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I might have to cop depending on the gameplay. I might have to cop that Switch too. That might be the reason I get it. So the play's there. That's why I said I could see this being a thing. Star Fox making a comeback. Younger Gen Z doesn't fuck with the Fox like that. I wouldn't even say that the younger generation doesn't fuck with Star Fox. They just don't know him. I'd argue most people in the Nintendo fandom nowadays are Star Fox fans because of Smash Bros. Because he's a meta character. But I don't think the average Star Fox fan these days has played a Star Fox game, because Star Fox peaked, at least in my opinion, with the Super Nintendo, the N64. And then depending on who you ask, you know, those GameCube games were 50-50. I loved Star Fox Adventures, but I understand people's criticism of it. I liked it despite that. And then also, what was the one where they were on the ground and shooting? I liked it, but I understand why people didn't like it. So like, I think Star Fox in his prime, most people didn't get to experience that shit. Easily one of the most influential games, because I feel like to this day, everybody still references all the peppy, all the lines from fucking, I can quote, that's one of those games where like, I can just quote so many things from that shit, bro. Very influential game. Star Fox Adventures was great. Yeah, it gave us Crystal, bro. Furries love to act like Star Fox Adventures was bad, but then they'd be like, oh, I love Crystal. Yeah, do a barrel roll. Use the boost. I guess I owe you one. I can quote so much shit from that fucking game, bro. Just great lines. Damn it, Fox. I hated that mashing A segment. I hope it's true. This might entice me to get a Switch too. Furthermore, a new 3D Mario game won't arrive in 2026 as expected. That's their holy grail. They gonna take their time with that. According to Nate sources, the last 3D Mario game, Super Mario Odyssey, was released during the original Switch's launch window nearly a decade ago. And despite last year's Donkey Kong Bonanza from the same studio, a major new entry has been expected soon. It's been 10 years since a proper Mario game, bro. Yeah, Falco's from Star Fox, yeah. Falco is Star Fox's like rival, like his right-hand man, his top hater. In its place will be a major remake of the N64 classic, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, to coincide with the Zelda series' 40th anniversary, it's claimed. One game that will not be releasing in the holiday of 2026 is 3D Mario. 3D Mario will be releasing in 2027. Ocarina of Time is one of my favorite games. If it looks good, I might have to run it. It's been a while since I played Ocarina of Time. If that remake is good, if it looks good, I might have to run it, chat. I might have to run it. Coincide with the 40th anniversary. The 40th anniversary of Zelda, I think. No, Ocarina of Time is not 40. Ocarina of Time came out in 97, 98, right? But Zelda is 40. I don't think that, no, Ocarina of Time is not 40. I'm not that goddamn old. I'm not that old, chat. but Zelda as a series, yeah, the original, it's an old series. I remember the golden cartridge. What is this, you link? Phase 1 of the Nintendo Cinematic Universe just got revealed at NintenCon. What do you think of Phase 1? Is this real? This is from fucking 2024. This has 500 views. Ain't no way this is real. I don't believe this shit. Yeah, this is messed up. I don't believe that shit. 600. But there is another anniversary this year, and it's the anniversary of The Legend of Zelda. What I can share with today is that it's the second half of 2026. Approaching the holidays, we're going to receive an Ocarina of Time remake. You said, oh, my bad? Yeah, that's not real, I'm pretty sure. Source, trust me, bro. According to Nate the Hate, Nintendo is unlikely to stream a general Nintendo Direct until June, but it could make smaller announcements on social media, such as new looks at Splatoon Riders, nobody cares, Fire Emblem, Futures Weave, and anticipated Switch 2 titles. I just hope they don't bring ARMS back. You guys remember ARMS? Then it's just talking about Ocarina of Time. We need that Star Fox, Nintendo. And not, hey, listen, and not only do we need that Star Fox, that multiplayer better be fire, and it better be full of funny ass fucking lines, bro. It better be full of bullshit. We need to bring Star Fox back. And then when we done with Fox, let's bring F-Zero back. Let's go ahead and bring it back, man. I need Nintendo to get deeper into their bag. Give us a Kid Icarus. Come on, man. Chill, LOL. ARMS was gas. No, it wasn't, nigga. You was probably like fucking 8 when you played that game. That game was not good. When's the last time you played ARMS? That slinky arm bastard ass game, bruh. You was a little ass nigga in a dirty white tee, a dirty wife beater with snot on your nose playing that shit. That's why you liked it. When we kids, we like everything, bruh. There's a reason why they don't make any more of them bitches. When don't nobody want to play that shit, bruh. Game was mad. That shit was super, man. Like ARMS is arguably, let me see, like ARMS, Nintendo. It arguably has some of the worst character design that I've, like, it's actually flabbergasting how bad the character and art design is in this for a Nintendo game. Like, look how fucking, like, look how cool fucking Fox looks and shit. And then look at this goofy ass shit, bro. I don't want to play this, man. I don't want to play this, bro. Somebody was really in a boardroom and said, let's make a boxing game with slinky arms. Why? Fucking why? I don't get it. We need a beautiful Joe. Well, that's you gotta call Capcom for that, bro. You gotta call Capcom for that. Should I have fun with ARMS? Cause y'all was little niggas when y'all played that shit, bro. You had the little chug jug juice, the little barrel joint, your little popsicle, your lollipop, your dingy wife beater. You not trying to slink it up on the battlefield? Nah, I'm good off that, man. I'm good off that. Star Wars Zero Company brings Fire Emblem style consequences to its battles. Star Wars franchise hasn't been afraid to pull the, who cares? Speaking of PC gamer, narrative lead Aaron Contreras, who was the lead writer for Star Wars Jedi games at Respawn, revealed that permadeath has been added deep into the development of the game. The gameplay system that developer Bit Reactor came up with won't see a character removed from the board if their health drops to 0. Instead, these defeats will count as battlefield injuries, and after they accumulate 3 of them, they'll be out of the game. The game's protagonist, Hawks, is the only character to whom permadeath doesn't apply due to his central role in the character. That's cool. I don't mind that. Star Fox Assault was slept on. I like Star Fox Assault, but I get why people didn't like it because it didn't have enough. I think if Star Fox Assault was like 60% air combat and 40 on foot, I think people would have a more favorable opinion of that. But the problem with Assault was it was like 75% on foot and like 25% in the air. And what sucked about Star Fox Assault is that 25% that you spent in the air was fucking gas, bruh. So it was like every time you did a fire ass flight mission, within 5 minutes you drop back down to the earth with the ground. Be like, bro, what the fuck? I'm trying to get back in the ship, bruh. A good Star Fox game needs gas flight missions. I enjoyed the tank missions. I enjoyed the underwater missions. It needs fire vehicle combat, and it needs fire level design. Some of my favorite things about why I loved about Star Fox 64, it was also the planets. Like, y'all remember the fire planet? And the shit would like swoosh up in the air and like the snakes and shit like that. The boss designs were fire. So just good vehicle combat, good level design, and then just give us funny quips. That's all we're asking for, man. I don't need no extra shit. Just give me some good one-liners, man. Fox, if I take this guy out, I get to fuck your bitch. That would be dope as fuck. Yeah, I just need some bars, man. That's all we need. Keep it simple, dog. That's what we loved about this shit. What else do I say? It was a challenge that we embraced midway through production, Contreras said, but about 13 months ago, I lost an argument about permadeath, and it was good that I did. It was the right decision for the game. Star Wars is about loss. I mean, 4 years old watching Obi-Wan Kenobi die, right? It's about loss. And then also as a developer wanting people to not save scum, but to push through the loss to what's on the other side of the experience. Is that a spoiler? The game starts off with like your main character watching Obi-Wan Kenobi die? What the fuck? They did make development of Zero Company more difficult, but the producer said that the development team rolled up its sleeves and got to work on adding this extra layer of risk to Zero. Star Fox 64 has some dope hidden routes. Yeah, oh yeah, that too, right? Level design and then dope hidden routes. Like, it only took like 30 minutes to beat Star Fox, but what made it great was the replayability. There were so many different ways to play the game, so you had to figure out the best routes to get to that level that you never got to see before. I don't think they can get away with making a 30-minute to 1 hour game again. They need to make it longer, but that shit would be lit. I need to see more gameplay of this game. I am interested in this shit, bro. Hit the like button, YouTube. Zero Company is one of the several Star Wars games in development currently, and later this year, fans can hop into the sci-fi chariot for some Outer Rim thrills in Star Wars Galactic Racer. Yeah. Well, if you're interested in this is the XCOM Star Wars game. There's permadeath in the game, but the character has to get injured 3 times before they die. I think that's a nice little middle ground. What else we got? We already did we see this? No, we didn't see Exodus. We saw The Expanse, I think. Yeah, because that was in the Xbox one. All right, let's look at the other Mass Effect inspired game. Exodus. I gotta verify my age. Hold up, y'all. Let me switch my account to my main one. I am an adult. Boom, 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 boom. Here we go. Gameplay breaching console. Gunplay looks smooth. Gotta stop the aliens. Yeah, this is super Mass Effect. Okay, so we got some biotics. In my opinion, I feel like this one looks better than the Osiris one. And the Expanse, I feel like this one looks better. Hey, but guess what? We gonna play them both. We gonna play them both. The year of the Mass Effect clone, and we'll judge which one's better. You said PC Gamer got a video on it. PC Gamer, what's that joint called? Star Wars. Damn, 13-minute preview. Oh shit, Zero Company.
I want to change the way we tell stories in the genre, and I want to make choice even more meaningful.
You should have better frame rates, which means better graphics, better stories, because we can take a moment, have an immersive moment.
What's all these new buttons on YouTube? Stable volume? What is that? Voice boost? Ambient mode? Oh, that's not new. They got new shit. Shout out to YouTube Premium, man, dropping new features. Have you seen the Shadow Rush? It's literally Titanfall. Yeah, I seen that, but that shit, I gotta see more, man. Playback speed. That's not new. It's new on my browser, nigga.
This one's actually doing it, and it looks really good, and it played really good.
Star Wars Zero Company has been shrouded in mystery since its reveal last year, but the simple sell of Star Wars XCOM is tough to beat, especially since Studio BitReactor boasts a ton of X4Axis XCOM devs led by the series' former art director.
Yeah, with this game coming out, between Exodus, The Expanse, Star Wars Company, Zero Company, and then Sorrow. Like this is 2026, 2027. We in the era of space games.
I came in with high expectations, and they were easily cleared. This is going to be a great game, not just for tactics fans, but anyone who digs Star Wars or cinematic RPGs like Mass Effect. In addition to 4.5 hours of hands-on time with the game, I interviewed many of the devs behind it and dug into what you can expect from Zero Company when it releases later this year. Unfortunately, I wasn't allowed to capture footage
Nah,
of
we
my
ain't
play
talking about
session,
Starfield.
but
We're not
EA
talking
has
about
provided screenshots and artwork to help illustrate the game's current state.
We're not talking nothing about no goddamn stuff.
Zero Company is a Clone Wars story. You'll play through a deep single-player campaign that pitches your squad against separatist droids.
Oh, let's go! We're muddying up the fucking prequel timeline. Woo! We're muddying the timeline up even more.
Criminal gangs, and a new faction, the separatist-aligned cult, the Infinite Coil, who are bent on releasing a deadly
Disney
plague
said,
across the
"Fuck
galaxy
it."
which imbues unusual and superhuman abilities on the host.
Star Wars and the Clone Wars era were presented with a very specific, Republic-centered perspective. But we know, as the audience, that the Republic becomes an empire eventually, and that maybe the perspective we're getting during the Clone Wars is sort of biased from a certain point of view. Having
Personally, one of my
these
Game of the Year
conflicting
contenders.
ideologies was really interesting because we know the way that these ideologies will shake out. The dust will settle into an era of rebels and empire, of very like light and dark, good and evil. But things aren't so clear during the Clone Wars era, and that makes for a really interesting opportunity to present a player perspective.
You play as
Hey, we could get
Hawks,
some-
a former
we could get
Republic
some-
officer now leading an elite squad
That means we could get some Anakin and Ahsoka appearances. Okay.
of professionals for hire. They're both your point-of-view character and a strong battlefield unit. Think Commander Shepard by way of one of those tactician characters from Fire Emblem.
You're not a lone hero kind of like standing up against the world, felling enemies, but with a swing of your blade. You're a relatively ordinary person. You're leading a tactical squad. You're leading an organization, but you have to make them work together in order to achieve a goal. It's a fantasy of leading a squad and management and organization. You experience the story directly. You're not a removed figure.
Disney doing
You're there.
everything but trying to
I
fix
felt
the
when I came on board the
singularity.
project, that was intrinsic to making this a satisfying Star Wars story. That's who we empathize with, the people who kind of like get dirty and have our boots on
Yeah,
the
the
ground.
game
So
is
that's why
modeled
Hawks
after
has that
Fire
way.
Emblem and like XCOM.
I think the thing that
It's a
surprised me the
strategy
most
game.
was like how RPG it is.
A story-driven
you're
strategy
talking
game.
to people, you're making choices. It feels like you're Commander Shepard on the Normandy in between missions.
We have these author heroes who are, Jedi Padawans or Mandalorian gunslingers or an Umbaran sniper, a clone soldier. These really iconic, archetypes from the Clone Wars era.
And so what is really fun about this game is having different perspectives, having the Republic perspective from Bennett, having the Separatist perspective from Runa, having someone like Nish who's from the underworld who's just here to make a quick credit,
Having them be introduced into the story of Zero Company and recruited in the squad one by one provides us a lot of momentum to kind of like carry you through the game. And there's, as they come into the squad, they bring their own personal conflict and dramas with them.
Even just like these snippets of these characters, like it was not hammy, superhero stuff. It was genuinely funny moments. The characters really.
I'm genuinely curious, why is there, because they specifically said a Jedi Padawan joins the team. And they're not evil because they had a green lightsaber. So I'm curious, so why would they be on this team? And then also what happens to them by the end of the game? Like, because once again, if this is canon, it's going to muddy the timeline.
The worst kind of coming off the screen a little bit. It was exciting.
We also have our bond system. Zero Company's squad, grows and becomes actually more capable. Like two heroes can actually cross-train and learn each other's abilities as their bond and their affinity for each other's growth.
It rewards you for the squad that you put together, and it rewards the way that you play.
Yeah, we hope you care about these characters, and I know I do, especially as I'm building bonds with them and they start to become more and more powerful in my play sessions. So when I walk by, I want to see what they're decorating their desk with or who they're hanging out with between missions.
It was really critical that we allowed for bonds to decay.
3 Mass Effect games, inspired games in 2027 is phenomenal. Yeah, I remember I got into a debate with one dude one time that tried to tell me Mass Effect wasn't a console seller. And like, for anybody who has any doubt that it's not one of the most influential games of the last probably 15, 20 years, you are fucking bugging. Just say you didn't play it.
And Fracture as well, due to your actions, because that's part of the fantasy of being a leader. There's sort of like this
said
spy
madness,
detective element to Zero Company. It's the war within the war. It's sort of like, it's not the massive battles of clone troopers and battle droids. It's, these small theaters of war and low intensity conflict that kind of brings with it a little bit of that sort of like spy thriller angle.
And the really shocking thing is like, the main story missions, you'll go in there and you'll have like a third-person action camera. Like it looks like Jedi Survivor or something. And you'll be, walking around as if it were an action game. And it's like amazing, AAA production values.
Really that immersion into these different planets that you get to go down was what, drove that desire to have those kind of free roam moments. And we often sometimes call them on team like our deep breath moments. It's kind of that chance for someone who just had their tactical combat experience. And then they get a minute to kind of collect themselves, take in the environment, take in the world, take in the visuals, and kind of prep for kind of that next tactical game.
Especially if the fire is, especially if the story is gas, I think it'll suck a lot of people into this genre that have never played like a turn-based strategy game before. it could have like that Baldur's Gate 3 effect, just simply because it's Star Wars.
Engagement where then your kind of heart gets pumping again.
And then you reach a fight, and it zooms all the way out to like the XCOM strategic view. This one's actually doing it, and it looks really good, and it played really good.
This innovative combination of third-person exploration, RPG storytelling, and turn-based tactics is less surprising when you learn more about who's making this game. While developer Bit Reactor is a brand new studio, the team features alumni from Respawn's Jedi series, as well as strategy game veterans from Firaxis. Founder Greg Furch spent 2 decades at Firaxis refining the turn-based tactics experience with games like XCOM, Civilization, and Marvel's Midnight Suns.
You know, I had left Firaxis after 22 years, and I was kind of working on what I wanted to do next. I knew I wanted to stay in tactics, and I definitely had an axe to grind with the genre. There's so much more we can do. It was a Friday night, and I got a call out of nowhere. I'm sitting in my office with the lights out and my computer on, and wife's asleep, my kids are asleep, and phone rings. It's this number that I don't recognize.
People give it a chance.
I'm like,
I think a lot of people slept on Midnight Suns because it was a card game. So it was a turn-based card game. There are already a lot of people that are dismissive of stuff that when it's turn-based, but then you add cards to it. Like, that's another level of like nerd. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever met a card player, like a Magic player, or like a Yu-Gi-Oh player? Those niggas are nerdy, bruh. So like, some people just don't like that shit, unfortunately. I don't know why. I love a good card game.
and for some reason I answered it. And the voice on the other end said, "Hey, Greg."
I don't know. I like strategy card games because I like that they make you think. It's about critically thinking. To me, that's what makes it fun.
I heard you have a game you want to make. Can you tell me about it? And we talked for a long time.
Big
He actually
Vince.
said, you know, like, do you think you can make a Star Wars game with this? And I said, sure, absolutely. Meanwhile, I'm thinking, this is insane, right? Like, this is crazy. It's Star Wars. And Vince was just like, pitch me.
We worked with Respawn for a long time. We've worked with Electronic Arts for a long time, and we've been wanting to make a game in this genre. We know that the turn-based tactics genre just rewards meaningful choice. And when you take that genre and you add it to a brand like ours that thrives on meaningful choice, you know, we knew that that would be something that would make fans happy. And that's where Greg starts talking about, I want to change the way we tell stories in the genre, and I want to make choice even more meaningful, and we want to present things in a more cinematic fashion.
It's so easy for genre fans to kind of wear it as a badge of like, oh, the art doesn't matter, the graphics don't matter, the story doesn't matter, it's all about the gameplay. It is. The gameplay is what it is about. But depth doesn't cost you elegance. You can absolutely have all those other things. It's
Especially because it's a $70 AAA game. That's right. I need them to hit on all cylinders, nigga. All cylinders.
single player game.
That's why I will never understand the Crimson Desert Defense Force. But yeah, we'll get the last laugh when award season comes around and y'all niggas don't win nothing.
There's not latency issues. You should have better frame rates, which means better graphics than other games. You should have better stories, because we can take the camera and tell you a story. We take a moment, have an immersive moment without it really changing your flow, because it's expected. Genre fans got conditioned to believe that they shouldn't.
We got bad alien bitches.
But we're here
bro.
to tell you have both.
When he was building the studio, it was really important to him that he had experienced devs making turn-based strategy games, and then another percentage that were experienced devs that have not made strategy games, that come from other genres.
You know, here we are, we're a brand new studio. We have a strong pedigree in a space, and there's almost 20 of us that have worked together before, so we're not really a garage shop. We're a new studio. You know, you've got these two giants taking a chance on someone like us.
Yeah, I'm glad he said that. No excuse to have weak points in your game. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this dev dire is making me more interested. I was already kind of half interested in this game because it's Star Wars and I like strategy games. But like the way they're talking about it, even at 1.25 that I got it at, like you can hear the passion. It's got, when I hear people passionate about what the fuck they're talking about, it makes me more interested in it. Like, what's going on over there, bro?
Having the vision and the courage and the conviction and the faith in us, right? Like to do something new, to do something outside of their norms. I think that's worth mentioning. It's just not common anymore.
It doesn't, and I could end up being wrong, but it doesn't feel like a cash grab right now. Real nerdy shit.
Once you get into combat, Zero Company should be immediately familiar if you've played XCOM before.
It feels deep. It felt like I could have played a lot cleaner and was, you know, I had fights where I barely scraped by.
I really enjoy the puzzles that I get to solve in those spaces. It's like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, I need to get enough advantage to do this. How am I going to make that happen right now? This unit might be able to take a couple of shots over here. Then I'm going to be able to go and use my rocket jump over to here. Now, after I do that and knock those units back, maybe they'll go into Overwatch. It's that plotting and planning and then execution of my plan that's rewarding. And then having the challenges that the game presents me to give me novel, unique situations so that I can't fall into a predictable pattern or strategy all the time. Those moments just feel good. They're the moments you tell your friends about when you're playing a game.
As with XCOM, your squad consists of 4 operators. This stops the action from getting too overwhelming, according to its developers.
Most of the games in this
Yo, shout out to Rob Bass Jr. with the 10 gifted sub.
particular genotype of tactics games have landed in the 4 to 6 units range. If you start to go below 4 units, you walk this razor's edge where losing a unit becomes potentially catastrophic. Similarly, if you go much above 6 units, the camera needs to pull out higher. You need to see more of the battle space. There need to be more enemy units on the field for you to deal with. And that often results in simplifying the action space of each individual unit so that the player can parse everything that they're dealing with. So for this particular type of tactics game where you move your whole team at one time and then you rotate to the enemy team and they take their whole turn at one time, 4 to 6 tends to be a pretty playable place for that game to be.
It all feels super tense in a very similar way to XCOM. Even with RPG elements, there's never that sense of
He's like
snowballing and
Chinese
invincibility
about
with
gun
an
gamers.
overpowered
To be fair, it's got guns in it. It's just you gotta be strategic with your guns, though.
build in like Baldur's Gate 3. And there's the ever-present threat that any of your guys, including the named hero
The
operators,
lighting is
can be
really
killed
good in this
permanently.
game.
A character as beloved as Cab Uppercut, or one-armed Felshi Boxer, he can just catch a blaster bolt and be gone very, very, very early in the game, and the story has to go on with him.
It really heightens the emotions you feel because now that soldier going down has a lot higher stakes. And you're like, do I let them die or do I get them? What's my opportunity cost here? How am I going to sort this out?
Star Wars is about loss. I mean, 4 years old watching Obi-Wan Kenobi die, right? Like, also, like, as a developer, wanting people to not save scum, but to
Oh, that was in reference to the article earlier. He was saying he was for watching Obi-Wan die. Nah, he dies in this game. Okay.
push through the loss.
That gives
Like, what's
better
on the other side?
context.
Experience, feel it. When you save someone, it's like hiding your feelings. Like, I'm just not going to let it die. It's part of what the genre can do so well because it's about a group of
The game
characters.
you playing tonight?
I can
Probably
lose
Slay
one.
the Spire.
And it's not game over.
If you want to have a Star Wars story-driven experience with a cast of really like well-realized, authored characters that we poured a lot of love into, it's there for you. But if you want to roll with your own team, you can absolutely do that as well. And we spared no expense to try and make that, just a satisfying experience for the player.
This degree of customization and squad makeup allows for some unusual builds. The astromech droids in the game are support units with extra utility slots for grenades and the like, and designer James Brawley is very passionate about squads consisting solely of R2's D2.
I always wanted astromechs to be a playable unit in the squad. I always wanted to give them a special place as the king of support units, basically.
They gonna have
One of my
electrical
fondest
AoEs or
gaming
something?
memories was going back to the original Final Fantasy and playing through the entire game with 4 white mages, which made the game phenomenally difficult in the first 4 to 5 hours of gameplay. But then eventually it turns out that that's actually an incredibly powerful solution to almost every problem in the later games. So always in the back of my head, I was like, what if you played through the game with 4 astromechs? I wanted that to be possible. It's going to be pretty interesting because a lot of your combat capabilities, if you do that, are going to be defined by your ownership of the utility items in the game and which ones you can bring on the squad. That's where all of your offensive capability is going to come from in that case.
Zero Company is a great tactics game, and if you've been craving something to hit that XCOM 2 sweet spot, your wait will soon be over. But what really surprised me was BitReactor's emphasis on storytelling and presentation, all without sacrificing any of that tactical depth. I think that combination is going to really push this game over the top and make it one to watch later this year. For all things Star Wars Zero Company, head over to PCGamer.com, and for more previews of the latest upcoming games, subscribe to PC
So
Gamer
this is
here.
coming out this year?
I'm told Scott put something for you to click on to subscribe, and I said here. Please email him with any complaints if this is not the case.
Yeah, it says coming soon. Need that. Yeah, we on this. We definitely on this. What is this thumbnail? What the fuck? What is this fucking thumbnail for this video suggest? That's crazy, man. But gaming is dead. Gaming is dead, dude. Gaming is fucking dead. Other news, more space shit. Soros, somebody was asking about me earlier. Soros has been made easier than yo, them troll channels are fucking funny, bro. Yo, them niggas are dedicated to hating motherfuckers, bro. Soros has been made easier than Returnal due to player feedback, though creative director claims it's still a very challenging game. Speaking of IGN's, the creator's director, Gregory Luton, said, I think the lesson we learned from Returnal was that people really loved what we created and we're going on the right track, but I think the feedback we did get is that more players wanted to love Returnal. They wanted to get further. So for us, it was about providing that ability. So it means we don't dilute the challenge. There's still a very challenging game there, but there's also the ability to kind of modify the challenge. In Returnal's original release, you had to sit down and beat a run in a single sitting, as leaving the game paused during a run wasn't possible. This was patched in the game's 2.0 update, which was wonderful news for those who couldn't sit aside the time to finish a run all at once. This feature will be included in Sorrows from day one. Saros will also have a selection of options that players can interact with to ease their way through the game. These include permanent upgrades and second chance revival mechanics and Carcosan modifiers, which change up how the game is played during runs. According to IGN, each run of Saros is meant to last around 30 minutes, a substantial decrease from Returnal's typical run duration. An associate design director told IGN, "It's a challenging experience, but every time someone dies, we want them to bring something out of it, right? Even if it's not the resources they were using to level up. Maybe it's a lesson from that run, and if it's a short run, I think it's smarter to get more and more lessons in a frequent cadence, right? So I think the 30-minute sessions lengths that we have are kind of the sweet spot for this kind of experience." How long did the sessions last in Returnal? Like an hour or something? Didn't have a memory leak issue. That's what turned me off from Returnal. I did like the gameplay, but I just couldn't sit there and try to beat it all at once. The fact that they're going with making it a little bit shorter does make me interested. Returnal's fun, but the runs were long as fuck. Yeah, that's why I dropped it. I was like, it was just too long. I was like, bro, you're asking me to survive way too long. But 30-minute runs, we might be able to do that. We might be able to do that. Good chance to innovate the game, and yeah, me having to beat it. Did you see the drama of people lying and saying Bungie was paying people in crypto to talk pot? Yeah, I saw it. It's right here. Probably what you was looking at. Some people are so desperate to hate Marathon, they've embraced a fake conspiracy about paid Reddit posts. Earlier today on Twitter, some of Twitter's best and brightest soldiers began posting about a Reddit task content farm for Marathon. The allegation is that Sony and Bungie have been paying people, though a shady Discord server, to promote positive posts about Marathon on Reddit. There is a Reddit task content farm for Marathon, Pirate Nation declared. Just one of many accounts to take this claim and run with it. And no, there is not. I think I blocked this account. Yeah, I did. That's why I can't see it. I blocked this account because like all they do is spread. This is one of the worst accounts on Twitter. All they do is spread lies and misinformation. Their source, this post over on Reddit. It features several screenshots of a Discord server, the details which have been blacked out. This shows that the admin of a said server promoting Marathon-related Reddit offers. Marathon launch day reminders. Starting tomorrow, Marathon assigned tasks can now be claimed every 6 hours. Take advantage of this reduced cooldown until Monday 6 a.m. reads one of the posts in the screenshot. Let me tell you something, guys. If they were going to pay people to promote the game, they would just go to their agents, send them an email. There's no way you had to be this stupid to fall for this shit. You really think Bungie or any major corporation is going to start a free Discord server for you and anybody else to just hop in and get paid to post positive shit about Marathon? If they were going to do any type of paid promotion with influencers, they would go directly to the influencers because they have the clout to do so. Pirate Nation is up there with Grums. They are, bro. I feel like that account should get fucking blocked, bro. In short, it appears as if they're paying people to create and boost positive Marathon posts on Reddit, which is a practice known as astroturfing. Pretty damning stuff. In many American states and countries, astroturfing is illegal and can earn you some pretty hefty fines from the likes of the U.S. Federal Trade Commission. I didn't even know that. Sony and Bungie would be in a lot of trouble if it wasn't complete bullshit, that is. Exactly, they would be in trouble. What the fuck? If you take a look at some of the screenshots in the post, which I've backed up here just in case the person who faked these tries to leak the proof out of shame, you can see in the top right, they've accidentally done a poor job of cropping out the server's name in the search bar. By overlaying Discord's font with the text they've poorly cropped out, I was able to figure out the name of the server in question is Reddit Circle. Reddit Circle is the name of the Discord server used by TaskPost, a self-described platform for completing Reddit posting tasks and earning cryptocurrency. By making a TaskPost account and joining their private server through the TaskPlot website, I was able to join the Reddit Circle and view their post in question. Yeah, it's a gaming grifting account, bruh. Freaking like, this is what I mean when I say like gaming has gotten really weird, dude. All that divisiveness caused by your president in the political space has bled into every aspect of every conversation. It's now in gaming where people are like, what do you gain out of starting up a whole fake Discord server and fake offering people to promote a game just so you could try to make, like, what do you gain from making? Bungie already made themselves look bad when they found out that devs stole the art, or their CEO finessing Sony and buying 20 sports cars. They're doing bad all by themselves. What do you gain from this, bruh? Can't Sony and Bungie sue for defamation? Probably, but the problem with suing for defamation or libel, libel was I think it's called libel. The problem with that is you have to prove it affects your pockets. This doesn't affect their pockets, especially because at least at bare minimum, the media is coming out in their defense and saying this shit is fake. So unless Bungie has receipts showing that they lost millions of dollars because of these posts, this won't hold up in court, and then it's wasting everybody's money. Defamation is one of the hardest things to prove in court. That's why a lot of those cases you don't ever hear anything about them. They get thrown out. They get thrown out in court. Matter of fact, I remember there was a YouTuber back in the day that said he was gonna sue me for defamation. Nothing happened, nigga. Libel is written and slander is spoken, so this would be libel. Yeah, it's the same thing, it's just different formats. But yeah, okay. You said why? It was a YouTuber who's irrelevant now, but he said he was gonna, in his YouTube video, he was gonna sue me for defamation for lying on his name because I made a video about him proving he wasn't an actual hood nigga. He was a nigga who owned his own mom and pop's repair shop where he repaired consoles. He was actually a fucking nerd, and he got mad that I exposed him as if that shit wasn't on the news. Like, bro, you don't have a case. It doesn't matter. He's irrelevant. We kill all these niggas, man. Fucking frauds. So I remember that story. Like, the nigga was heated, boy. Oops. Shouldn't have went on the news. Oops. Anyways, yeah, you're a nerd. Embrace it. Like, what's wrong with that shit? So yeah, like I've actually dealt with this. That nigga threatened me, and nothing happened because he had no case. It's the truth. You were on the 5 o'clock news saying, yeah, I got my own shop. I didn't make that up. Shit's fucking funny.